Hey everyone, it's Fraser from Quantum. I hope you all enjoyed our last video, which was looking at the first point of interest on our large map, the refinery. If you haven't seen it already, check it out in one of our previous videos. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Seeker. For those of you who are new to our IP, the Seeker is your character. This is who you'll develop over time, play with your friends, and go out into the world with. But before we look at how the designs stand today, let's look at how we got there and why the Seekers exist in the first place.
When the Jericho crash landed on Charnel, all while trying to investigate what happened to Colony 1, this left the survivors of the ship stranded light years from home. No help, no hope, and no escape. In order to survive, it was decided that all people remaining on board who wished could scour the planet to find help and maybe discover what happened to Colony 1. Outside of Jericho, it's every person for themselves. The survivors who ventured beyond the wall became known as Seekers, searching for help, the truth, and for glory. In order to carry weaponry powerful enough to defend themselves from Charnel's local inhabitants, or to move heavy mining gear, the standard military exosuits found on board the Jericho were adapted by those who could, giving them the ability to wear thick armor plating or utilize advanced weapon systems that couldn't be moved without heavy machinery. Given this premise, we had to think very carefully about the design. This had to be realistically capable of carrying heavy weight, while still allowing the player to move around the map with a good feel. We spent months, and I mean months, getting the feel of an average weighted Modex right. Without solid feel at the controls in an FPS, you haven't got anything. Mag's brother Rossi, who's a very talented comic book artist and illustrator, gave us our first bash at the initial Seeker design. For me, this had too much of a fantasy feel to it, not grabbing the sci-fi element so much, but this was still awesome nonetheless. From there, we moved to work closely with our team at One Pixel Brush. Shadi and his guys did an amazing job to get us off the ground quickly and gave us our real first taste of the Seekers. We explored various different loadouts of Seekers, from the lightweight scout style all the way through to the heavyweight hammerhead tanks. We want our players to be able to customize their Seekers in any way, and not make a class-based system, by allowing the player to choose what 6 pieces of armor and ancillary systems, plus the 2 weapons, would determine the player's class, so to speak. But the most challenging thing that we've had to do to date is to think of what the player's Seeker will look like right at the start of the game. A standardized Seeker, so to speak, before the player goes into the world to find and craft epic items. This gave us a host of new problems. How do we make it look cool while being functional? And we needed to standardize the base Modex, the part that everything clips onto. We had worked on this a little with One Pixel Brush, but it needed refined. So our in-house art team, led by Randolph Watson, along with Luca, did a deep dive. Randolph and Luca went right back to basics, literally thinking about the mechanics of how an exo like this would work. As you can see from the work, the team really did go right to the core of the design, and then flesh it out to a point of being cool and unique to our IP without having that generic sci-fi feel. You can see the difference between the original One Pixel Brush Modex base and the new in-house design. From this point, the team had a play with how changing basic items, colours, and adding tribal or clan markings gave a different look and feel to the Seekers, both when they are unarmed inside Jericho and outside the walls. Lastly, but by no means least, we looked at helmet design. This to me is such a cool part of the Seeker's design and really allows a player to show some uniqueness and individuality. We have, in my very humble opinion, some of the greatest helmet designs for a game, and this is only the beginning. We were able to take some of the fantastic lore created by Jamie and use that as a basis for our armor and helmet design, taking from all parts of the world: human tech, alien tech, Colony 1 designs, and a blend of all 3.
I hope you all enjoyed this closer look at our Seeker designs and how we got it to the point that it's at today. We have so much more to share with you in the future, and I can't wait to do that. Next time, we're going to be taking a dive inside Jericho and showing you everything that makes up this thriving crashed metropolis, from its residence quarters to its thriving marketplaces. To keep up to date with everything Project Quantum and to make sure you don't miss a thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join us on Telegram. Thank you.